Let us have a look at the concept of river rejuvenation. The prefix re in English means to do again. And so when we look at the concept of river rejuvenation, what exactly is it that the river does again? There are two things to focus on. When a river rejuvenates or energizes itself, it increases its speed and it increases its erosion. In other words, the river picks up speed and flows fast again, and the river erodes even more. River rejuvenation can be defined as a river increasing its speed and its erosion power. The result is that a new river valley is eroded in the old one. What are the reasons for a river picking up speed and a river eroding again? In other words, what are the causes and the reasons for river rejuvenation? Firstly, there's a lowering in the sea level. There could be an uplift of the land which increases the gradient of the slope. A significant increase in the amount of rainfall. A fast flowing tributary that joins the main stream, and then river capture or stream piracy. So a river increases its speed and increases its erosive power when there's a drop in the sea level. The land becomes steeper. There's a lot of extra rain. There's a fast flowing tributary that joins the main stream, and river capture or stream piracy takes place, especially in the pirate stream where there's an increase in the volume of water. The following landforms result from river rejuvenation, and these serve as evidence that rejuvenation has taken place. The following three landforms develop due to rejuvenation: a nick point, and often at that nick point we have the formation of what is called a nick point waterfall; terraces, which are step-like features that develop on the floodplain; and thirdly, incised meanders that develop in the course of the river. So three landforms that result from rejuvenation would be your nick point and your nick point waterfall, your river terraces or step-like features right next to the river, and then your incised meanders. These are just meanders that have incised or cut deeper into the landscape. On your mapwork section, if there are any questions on evidence for rejuvenation, a waterfall anywhere along the course of the river would be an indication of a nick point, and therefore an indication that rejuvenation has taken place. So as a result of rejuvenation, a nick point is likely to form. We have the development of terraces or step-like features next to the river, and also your incised meanders that are created by the river eroding vertically and deepening itself into the landscape. Just a quick explanation on how a drop in the sea level contributes to river rejuvenation. In the first diagram, which represents the longitudinal profile before rejuvenation, you will notice that the profile is graded as it has a concave shape, and there is the ultimate or the permanent base level, which is the sea. With a drop in the sea level, there is the development of a nick point along the longitudinal profile. The river is not going to be happy with the fact that the profile is now ungraded, and therefore it's going to pick up speed and it's going to pick up its erosion rates in order to get rid of that midpoint so that it's able to achieve a nice smooth concave. So the fact that there's a drop in the sea level creates a midpoint and changes the longitudinal profile from graded to ungraded, and as a result the river picks up speed and it picks up its erosive power, and therefore we say that the river has become rejuvenated. River terraces develop from the fact that the river picks up speed and then begins to erode vertically or downwards. The river basically digs and erodes a channel inside of a channel inside of a channel, so that these step-like features or terraces are formed next to the river. So each time the river picks up speed and it erodes vertically, it digs a channel inside of a channel to create these terraces or step-like features next to them. In the diagram, the staggered line represents the base of the river. Once the river becomes rejuvenated and it picks up speed and begins to erode even more, it digs the river channel deeper and deeper and deeper into the landscape to create these incised meanders. The following question appeared in Geography Paper 1 of November 2024, 2.4.1. Define the term river rejuvenation. The important keywords to add to the definition is that the river picks up speed and the river begins to erode again. 2.4.2 asks to identify the feature at A. The feature at A is a waterfall, or you can speak about a nick point, or you can specifically speak about a nick point waterfall. 2.4.3, how does feature A, which is the nick point, indicate that river rejuvenation has taken place? At the nick point, there is a sudden change in the gradient of the land. There's a sudden change in the slope, and with the river flowing over the nick point, we have the development of that waterfall. 2.4.4 says describe the change that river rejuvenation has made to the landscape at B. So what has happened to the landscape of B? The river has dug deeper into the landscape to create incised meanders. So it's changed the landscape by digging deeper and deeper and deeper into the landscape. Refer to the river terraces in the sketch above, and it's the question 2.4.5 wants to know how do river terraces form. We're going to start with the concept that the river flows on the floodplain. That river then picks up speed and it picks up its ability to erode, and it digs a valley inside the valley to create these step-like features or terraces. 2.4.6, very classical question. The examiners will always be interested in how humans are impacted by this. So here's a good example. Question 2.4.6. Why are some river terraces not suitable for farming? There are a number of reasons, but you could speak about the fact that the soils will often be too thin, that the terraces might be too steep for farming. Commercial farmers, for example, would struggle to mechanize as a result of the terraces often being too thin. The suggested answers and official memo answers are found on the next slide.